All right, and we are live. And how's it going, you beautiful people? I'm Cobalt GM, and it is time for Season 3, Episode 4 of Esper Genesis by Alligator Alley Entertainment. But first and foremost, let me introduce my incredible players. We have the beautiful Dark Lovely,
Hello.
playing our Keshian High Priestess, politician, princess, and currently assistant of a war criminal, Aura. Next, we have the awesome Alloy.
Alloy.
All right, playing the Ashen Forge warrior, Argus. Almost couldn't get the word out. Next, we have the magnificent Master Draco.
Hey.
Playing the Volna Big Chief and Space Daddy to a bioship. Yet his official class is Hunter, Rylan Bravestride. Next, we have the terrific Tonto Tomahawk.
Good day.
Playing the fire-blooded Promethean and soon to be father donator, as well as co-father or space uncle. Either way, despite all those
Funkle?
titles, the
Sounds
Funkle.
weird.
Yes, he's it's the Funkle
Yes,
of the
Funkle.
bioship, Sagaristio. All right, lastly, we have the Titanic Typhoon 44.
Set phasers to stun. We're going in.
Playing the Earthborn human Captain Jonathan T. Archer. But we got to give a special shout out to Steve, Felicia, Nicole, who was in the audience with us, but you know, we love her. We'll phrase it. I'll keep it like that. Justin, Riley, James Nash, my good friend Aku, Matt Click, the team at Absolute Tabletop, Esper Genesis 5e RPG Facebook group, Old Dudes D&D, RGB RPG, Roll20 Dad, Aaron Cameron, Belor McCracken, Dave Rosser Jr., and Aiden. Please engage that like button hard and share this video around. But with that, the incredible Tonto Tomahawk, aka Sagaricio, is going to grace us with an awesome recap. Take it away, Tonto.
Okay, so third week in the row I'm being thrown under the bus. But here
Yeah.
we go. Now, you see some awesome things that happened in the last session. If you weren't there for it, I recommend watching the video. You'll understand a whole lot more about what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So what actually is happening is now we're finally on our way to finally go do, the things with the stuff and the stuff with the things.
Mm-hmm.
So those things being, distress beacon ship out in space. Archer keeps, yelling at all of us to go do our stuff. So we're getting our stuff all figured out. We're saying our goodbyes, helping out our family. Well, I say our family. Namely having to bust out my Promethean cousin. Because apparently he doesn't know laws.
Mm.
Because, that's apparently how it goes.
Yeah.
So after busting him out of prison, after he was made Volna's I don't know a polite way to put it, but he experienced their hospitality in ways he didn't want to experience it.
Definitely. If anyone else can remember the word in Volna, they will get an additional inspiration. But go ahead, man. Take it away.
So, once we broken him out of the hospitality of the prison system of Volna, we find out that he was there to not only, celebrate, yay, our cousin, he saved this whole planet, but we're also having a birthing crisis over on our home planet, and we need more people to come help out with the donation effort.
Mm-hmm.
Which sparks the question of, with how Prometheans do their thing, how do we have a birthing crisis? Can't we just pop babies into tubes and be done with it? Or we've genetically altered ourselves to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, we haven't figured out how to make babies yet. So questions for later.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the whole reason that they're calling him back, is to go to go do things in a cup. Maybe.
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 You may have to refer to
Maybe,
the old
question mark.
ways.
Yes. Might have to do it the traditional method.
Yeah.
God,
Alcohol.
I want to make a comment, but it's so inappropriate.
We have a chat, you know. Feel free.
Yeah.
Dump it in there, man.
Yeah, pop it in there where the other chat can't see it, and then we won't get doxxed by, YouTube for inappropriate content.
I'm gonna share it in the Discord one.
Fair enough. But anyways, after that, we all meet up on the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and we're all getting ready to take off, and then that's when Sagaristio mentions to all of them, it's like, all right, so, I'm gonna need everyone's help because, well, we have this egg, obviously. It's still here.
Mm-hmm.
Nathkar's still bitching that he's not getting enough energy. The captain's still bitching he doesn't have enough cargo space.
That egg got
I have
huge.
the solution.
Alright.
I have the solution to fix all of this.
Mm-hmm.
We need to friendship it together to hatch it. Obviously not here out in the spaceport or near the planet. I don't want people asking more questions.
Oh, look, it's a huge space dragon. No, it's a ship. No, it's both. Where did it come from? I don't know. Activate the surface to space cannons. Shh! We're not supposed to have those.
Yes, you're not supposed to have those because they've already had a security council meeting with a bunch of the other planets on the Solarian Accords, and Volna was not supposed to have such weaponry because they didn't sign the thing.
Ah, politics.
I know. Orin knows all about that. She got to attend that meeting with her dear old dad
Mm-hmm.
and got to see the politics of the Solarian Accords in motion, with pretty much all of the people that had signed the Accords, including the Lorendi and the... Ooh, I'm trying to remember the other race now.
Ooh, the Eldori?
The Eldori, yes.
Mmm.
Yeah, so she got to meet someone that was heading the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
They had some minor disagreements on stuff, but that's how politics go.
Definitely.
She had a moment with her dear old dad when he told her that don't do anything that don't be yourself. Actually, you know what? Be yourself. If you're gonna do it anyways, you're just gonna do it to spite me.
Yeah.
Just don't get in all the trouble. But during that meeting, we found out that our little Bendis glitter bomb is now a war criminal.
I'm sorry. I love your nickname for her, Glitter Bomb. That's
Right?
That's pretty accurate too. Yeah.
Yep. Glitter bomb, the rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah.
Be all
Tana.
sorts of things.
Tana goes by many names now.
Yes. And she can add war criminal to that now because, well, just like the Geneva suggestion, she broke something.
We should heavily lean into this, though.
Yes, we'll call it the Solarian suggestions next.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
Solarian accordions.
Yes. But anyways, I got sidetracked. So
That's
yeah,
all
after
right.
all of that, it's like, yes, we can birth this egg. This egg is actually a bioship. What do you mean it's a bioship? Long story short, I was part of the team that did research and helped create Promethean bioships.
Yes.
But that's not important. I know the methods to do this.
Yes.
We need to hold hands and focus our energies into hatching this egg. And thus, we focused our energies with the help of the core stones to not only hatch the egg and give it form, but also fix up a little bit of the cargo bay for the captain, whether he wanted it or not. He got a free remodel.
Yeah.
It didn't mess up any of the sensors. It just made more space, made more
And
efficient use of it.
They held hands and sang Kumbaya.
Yes. So now we have this bioship that is also Kinthia. Kinthia has been reborn. She is back. And
Mm-hmm.
better than ever. Because she is now a ship.
Yeah, dear heavens, when did you guys first get that egg? Wasn't that like
This was,
Go ahead.
I believe that was season 1. We got it at the end of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back on Pelavaro.
Yep.
Mhm.
So we've been holding on to that egg for an entire season.
Hmm. But yes. I'm sorry, you were wrapping up. Go ahead, finish it off, man. You're doing great,
Yeah,
by the
so
way.
we're wrapping this up now. It's where we left off is now we're in between some of these planets, in some Promethean sector, because apparently there's a Promethean colony nearby on one of the planets. But there's a bunch of planets in a sequence,
Mm-hmm.
as well as an asteroid belt. It's neat. You should go there. Boring as fuck.
It's neat. You should go there. It's boring. All right.
You'll like it. Don't worry about it.
Most
But yes,
definitely.
we left off there with the bioship unhatched and pondering what to do as the ship is now hooked up, and now we're all wondering what we do next with this new ship, and wondering how we go about our titles because Space Uncle, Space Dad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Space Daddy.
Yeah, he's Space Daddy.
I already
He's Space
took that.
Daddy, yeah.
Oh, most definitely. And so, thank you for that recap. Oh man, I love it. Love the enthusiasm. Love the details. And since you
Was
were
it Rarnick for that title, or the slur from Valna?
wait, what was it called?
Rarnick or Rarna?
That is close, but not it.
Damn.
All right.
We know the translation of it. It's basically
Little bitch.
There it
Exactly.
is. But Tonto, please, you have 3 inspirations. And honestly, you could do with these, you could do whatever you want with these. You can keep all 3, or you can hand them out. All right. But you have been tossed under the bus a lot, so there you go. And with that, well, before that, are you going to give any out before we get started so I know ahead of time?
yeah. So let's see. You're giving me 3, right?
Yes.
All right. So I will give 1 to Argus.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Do it with what you will.
Foolishly spend it like I usually do.
Mm.
Well, obviously, we can't hold on to these, so
Yeah.
we spend away. At least spend the 1.
At least that is not a complete loss.
Exactly. I
Mhm.
shall give the second one over to...
Mm.
You know what? I'll give this one to Aura.
Oh, okay. Watch out now.
Yeah, she can do with it what she will.
Uh-huh.
And then I guess I hold on to the third for myself.
Okay. Sounds good. So, Aura, you're going to start off with 2 inspiration. Argus, you're going to start off with 2 inspiration. And Sakaricio, you're going to start off with 2 inspiration, while Rythan and Braceride and Captain Archer are going to be starting off with 1. But with that, let us go ahead and get into tonight's adventure. Like it has already been said, all of you, the champions and heroes of the planet Vol, home of the feline alien species called the Volna, after some politicking and some interesting situations involving your small alien Dindis crewmate by the name of Tana, but now she's known as a war criminal. What matters most is that Captain Jonathan T. Archer scored a gig, scored a job. Something relatively simple. Simply go to the Aria system, find a ship, fix it up a little bit, and bring it back. Easy peasy. And well paying. But in the process of leaving the planet Vol and that system, and finally making it through jumping through the crucibles, you guys all had this wonderful moment where, with the power of your legendary core stones, you were able to bring the space egg and hatch it and bring its contents to life. A bioship in the form of a void drake. A dragon-like biomechanical spaceship with its own consciousness, that of Cynthia. And upon reconnecting with another item that housed a portion of her consciousness, a very specialized sniper rifle that was also in the hands of Rylan Bravestride, her memories were complete. She remembers Bravestride, she remembers all of you. And now, the crew of the Astral Horizon have 2 ships. The Astral Horizon and this Void Drake with the consciousness of Cynthia. But after flying past Aria Prime and the various other numbered planets, each one getting a bit deader as you get further away from the prime planet, you guys begin to approach Aria 7, the planet where the Basilisk, another cargo ship, had crashed. Your objective is simple. Fly down to Aria 7, repair the Basilisk enough for it to be space-worthy, and to get it back to your contact, an old friend of Captain Archer's. But as you guys approach the planet, as always, things do not go as easy as you had initially expected.
Who'da thunk?
Most definitely. Immediately, at the console of Jane Archer, Captain Archer's wife and first mate, you see her eyes get wide as she's looking at the various red screens pop up, and she immediately turns over to her captain, her husband, and she is like, Captain, we have multiple contacts. We have incomings. We need everyone to get to the guns immediately. And with that, I need everyone to actually roll initiative.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Crikey,
Crikey,
indeed.
damn!
Crikey, right in the down under.
All right. And Dark Lovely, stop it with the distracting gifts. What's wrong with
No,
you?
continue. Don't listen to him.
Oh, of
He doesn't
course.
know what he's talking
And
about.
what's with these 20s, people?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let me see if I'm getting this right. We have the Aura with a 20. We have the Brave Stride with a 20.
Wrong
Yeah.
dice box, Ty.
We have the Sagaristio with a 10.
I don't know how I ended up in that one, but hey, oh well.
We have the Argus with an 8.
There it is.
It's all right. What is the captain going to do?
His best.
Definitely. Right? And immediately, as the rest of you guys are scrambling to your various positions, to your battle stations, Jane is telling the captain and telling everyone else over the ship's PA system, we have over 20 incomings. Sensor said that they're scrap, they're metallic pieces, but they're ultra magnetized. They're attracted to us somehow, but I don't know how they are. They are incoming. If we do not destroy these things, they're going to severely damage the ship.
Red alert, battle stations.
And look at that, we got the captain with Archer with a 13. Awesome. Aura. Tell me, where do you find yourself? Are you on the bridge? Are you in your room? Are you in the galley? Tell me, where are you aboard the Astral Horizon? Or are you aboard Cynthia?
I know where the good food is.
Astral Horizon it is, inside the galley. The lights begin to flash red. Immediately, little force fields begin to activate around the counter and whatnot to secure things that are on tables so that they're not flying all over the place. Or, your bondservant, your friend, Ori, immediately gets up and she's like, your Grace, we must get you to your room to safety immediately. While, of course, your brand is there. He stands up and there's a flash of light, and immediately he went from his normal spacesuit to his gold armor. And he is ready to protect you from anything, even though for some reason it hasn't registered that the threat is coming from outside the spaceship. Aura, what do you do?
I'm gonna make my way to whatever room is gonna have screens that I can see what's going on outside.
Oh, most definitely. Well, you have two options right now. You can, the closest option is the bridge. And there will be a chair for you there. The second option is actually going down into the cargo bay, where there are viewports where you're able to see outside.
I'll go to the bridge.
All right. That's effectively going to be your turn. And of course, your Sentinel, Remus is going to go with you along with Ori. Brave Stride, where are you and where are you going?
I stated last session that I was on Kenthia.
This is true. All right. And so
I do have a question though. Who's all on Kenthia?
that's a better question.
I would actually be on there with you because I was gonna go on board to double check systems.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna be there too because I want space from Tonto, the little shit.
All right, so
Okay. Aboard Kynthia. All right. Well, the thing is this. You are not getting the red alert. But at the same time, you are able to actually feel the fear coming from Kynthia herself, as you actually have the strongest connection with her. You're not sure if it's because of you wielding her when she was a rifle, or because of the power of your Emerald Core Stone, but you know that something is worrying her.
Is there a way to deepen that connection and remind her of how we used to fight together when we fought the 3 starfighter or the ships that we fought?
You're pondering this as you go over towards effectively the bridge, which is a bit of a interesting experience. There are chairs for you to sit in, but if you look up, instead of there being kind of like a roof or a ceiling like you normally would see in a spaceship, you are actually able to see kind of her brain pulsating. But either way, the lead seat, you do notice that there is a slot there, and it seems to perfectly fit the sniper rifle, also known as Kynthia's Revenge.
Let us do what we do. Start shooting down things.
With that, you go ahead and insert Kynthia's Revenge, the sniper rifle that you got way back in season 1? Season 2?
Yeah, season 1.
Okay.
We got it like right after we found the egg. We hadn't even got out of the facility yet.
This is true. All right. And you go ahead, and as soon as you do, it changes into effectively a control stick for Kynthia. The seat moves on its own and scoops you up. Immediately, these tendrils come around and strap you into the seat. And as you're holding the rifle, now that has become the joystick, or the control stick, excuse me, for Kynthia, you do feel that connection. Your Emerald Core Stone begins to glow brightly. The type of green energy encircles your form. And from the outside, the Void Dragon bioship that is Kynthia, her eyes glow green as well, and now you're able to see through them, and that is where you're able to see these balls, these jagged, almost like mace-like balls of ship debris, jagged metal, bits of jagged rock are all flying towards the astral horizon and Kynthia. But as you're seeing that, that's effectively your turn. Captain Archer, you're manning the helm. You
Disengaging docking clamps.
Cha-ching, cha-ching,
and
cha-ching.
Initiating evasive maneuvers.
Most definitely. Evasive maneuvers it is. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. It's effectively a piloting check, but you get to add your proficiency bonus. As you're disengaging the docking clamps, Brave Stride, you're able to feel that disconnection from the astral horizon, and a little bit of a wave of relief comes over you from Cynthia. Immediately, you're able to see these microjets that are dotted all along the outside of the astral horizon begin to flare up as immediately he begins to take off and begin to maneuver to somehow be less of a target from these incoming balls of spikes. Let's see what we got. 19! Looks good, sounds good. Sagaristio, you're above the... sorry, you're not above. Sorry, you are inside Cynthia, the bioship, the Void Drake. What are you doing on there?
Since we're starting to move, do I know what's happening right now?
At the moment, no. Wherever you were inside of Cynthia, all of a sudden the ships just started kind of moving. Though you did hear like a weird sloshing noise up in the bridge, but...
I'm gonna get on comms right away. I'm like, what's going on?
Incoming. Bunch of them.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, since
I need a pilot. I need a pilot.
You're funny.
He says this while sitting in the pilot's chair, right?
I need an adult.
No, you'll get an engineer and you'll like it.
It's all right. You'll get the 12-year-old. He'll get it done.
What I will do is I will go and find myself in the engineering.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be most familiar with most bioships and their layouts, so I'd probably be able to find this relatively easily.
You would. It's effectively where the heart is in this. So you're at the base of its chest, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm going to start doing some of my technician maneuvers, and I'm gonna give the ship a nice little power boost.
Sounds good. Sounds great. Remind me, do you have to make a roll for that?
Yes, I do. I gotta make a mechanics check, DC 14. If I pass it, then I can do one of two things. Either boost the ship's speed by half, or I can give the next piloting or gunner maneuver an increase by 1d4.
Sounds excellent. Go ahead and make that roll.
And we'll go mechanics check again. Boop.
Woo! 20?
That's what it takes.
Dirty 20. What are you gonna do, man? How are you going to boost Cynthia?
Let's see, since Raylan was worried about piloting, I will give the next piloting maneuver or any of that 1d4 increase, and I will roll that right now.
Ooh, a +3 increase. Sounds good. All right. Argus, you're aboard Cynthia. All right. You heard over the comms that, of course, something is happening. Something is coming. You saw Brave Stride rush over towards effectively the bridge, and the chairs scoop him up, and it looks like he's piloting. All of a sudden, you saw... I'm about to say Brave Stride again. You saw Sagaristio all of a sudden kind of climb down underneath the main floor. You hear a few clangs as if he is tinkering with something down there. You're assuming that that's where engineering is, but tell me, what does Argus do?
Did I overhear the conversation about him needing an adult?
Yes.
Alright, well, I'm actually trained in spacecraft, so I can fly this beast.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have been since the very beginning, but Archer's never let me touch the console.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna head to the bridge.
All right. You rush over there, and strangely enough, it kind of passes between the three of you, between Cynthia, Brave Stride, and you. Brave Stride, you do realize that perhaps he is the better pilot. He does get to add his proficiency bonus to his dexterity checks to pilot a ship.
Yeah. I already knew this.
Are you going to give up the helm?
Yeah, I'd rather be in a gunner seat.
All right. He goes ahead. The tentacles that have kept you in there immediately read your intention, unstrap you. All right, you hop out, go into the next chair, and now you're actually able to more clearly see out of. You both are able to see out of Cynthia's eyes, but Brave Stride, you feel a weird tingling in your mouth. Every time you open your mouth a bit wide, you feel like this buildup of energy, and you realize it's not within you, it's within Cynthia. Argus, you get into the piloting chair, the tentacle comes and strap you in, you hold on to the rifle that is now a control stick, and for a moment when you close your eyes, you're actually able to see through the eyes of Cynthia, and you're able to look to the side, and your arms have become the wings of the bioship. Your feet is thrusters. You're actually able to feel the breeze of solar currents coming across your skin. And now through her eyes, you're able to see these spherical spiked balls of debris and scrap hurling towards your area. Though it seems as if they're a little bit more focused on homing in on the astral horizon, but still, some are going to try to cut and blast through you in order to get to the astral horizon.
I would actually like to deviate out of the path and hopefully end up getting in a trajectory so that we can start getting some flanking bonuses.
Ah, sounds good, sounds good. And so, I'm going to need that piloting check from you. Do remember that there's a +3 bonus on top of that provided from engineering. All right, we got a 13.
Yeah, remember how I said I was going to spend that inspiration point foolishly?
Yeah,
I think that was a good time, isn't it?
I think it's a great time, honestly, especially because I know what's going to happen next. So yeah, please spend it.
That's better. 22.
Hokey pokey. Okay. And so your last piloting checks are effectively the new DCs that the first wave of incoming debris and shrapnel are going to be rolling against to see if they contact either the astral horizon, which rolled a 19 for Captain Archer's incredible piloting check, or a 22 for the Cynthia helmed by Argus. Let's see what happens. Here we go. D20. Space spikes, we'll call it. Here we go. Did only a single one of them. But we will do this in order to see if it actually works. So, the 16 for the astral horizon. Miss. Thanks to the evasive maneuvers of Captain Jonathan T. Archer. A 3 towards Cynthia. A miss. A 12 towards the astral horizon. A miss. A 15 towards Cynthia. A miss. A 2. Dear heavens, yeah, there's no point of mentioning it. A 19 towards Cynthia. Still a miss. Dagnabbit. All right. Going for the rest of them, you guys are able to swiftly maneuver through all of these almost dozen of spikes that would have ripped any other ship to shreds. And now all of you are starting to piece together perhaps the reason why the Basilisk crashed on Aria 7. Aura, we are back to you. As you've made it to the bridge, you sat down. Its automatic straps have strapped you in, and of course, Remus and Ori are close by. You're able to look upon the scene through the sensors of the astral horizon, and you realize that this first 10 is just the first out of 2 waves. What do you do, Aura?
I am going to use my Core Forged Tri-Edge Spear of Leadership's ability, Leaders and Encouragement.
Ooh.
So it says you provide prophetic awareness to up to 3 creatures of your choice within range, which is 30 feet. It's a concentration up to 1 minute. Each creature gains a +2 bonus to attack rolls and saving throws before the end of the effect's duration.
Nice. Very good. All right, remember that, and so you're going to be providing this effectively to Archer, and does this also include yourself?
I don't think so.
Me neither. All right, just want to make sure. All right. Archer, you feel more focused. All of a sudden, Princess Aura extends her arm and materializes this spear. All right. It almost stabs Remus, but he is used to you materializing it now. He just leans back and the blade materializes in front of his face. But with that, you begin to hold it with both hands and concentrate. And the energy coming off of the Spear of Leadership begins to flow into both you and, of course, Jane. And so, Archer, you feel more focused. You and the Astral Horizon are one. But before we get to that, Brave Stride. You now are realizing that you're effectively the breath weapon of Cynthia, of the Void Drake, of your bioship. And every time you begin to open your mouth, you'll be able to feel this type of cosmic energy build up within your throat, being ready to blast out and destroy whatever it comes into contact with. Do you want to try shooting down some of these spikes that are still being attracted specifically to the Astral Horizon?
Yes. Question, do I get my proficiency bonus with this? Or no?
At the moment, no.
Okay. And are any of the targets within 5 feet of each other?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I pretty much get 3 attacks.
Oh, go ahead. And strangely enough, seeing as how you're in the seat of the firing seat for Cynthia for the bioship, since you're connected to her, especially through the Emerald Core Stone, you can even feel the waves of magnetism coming off of these spikes, these spheres of debris. Woo! 2 definitely hit. 1 beam is a miss, as all of a sudden, the Void Drake, effectively a space dragon, its breath weapon controlled by her space daddy, Brave Stride. Even though it will look ridiculous to anyone inside the ship, you go ahead and open your feline Volna mouth wide and begin to just sweep your head around as all of a sudden this purplish beam is emitted from the dragon-like mouth of Cynthia, and the arc goes about and you see several explosions trigger. Go ahead and roll damage for the breath weapon. It's going to be a 2d8. And this is a ship scale damage, so as always, it's not like, oh man, my blaster rifle does more damage than this. Oh no, it don't.
What's my dex modifier?
Yes. Woo! And so with this arc, yes. What are you rolling now?
I had 2 attacks I hit, unless you were doing it for all of them. This 1 damage roll.
I was going to do 1 damage roll for both.
Okay.
All right. Is a 19 good for you?
Yeah.
Okay, it's good for me too. And so, like I said, she goes ahead and she shoots out this beam of purple energy and swings her head in perfect sync with yours. And with that, 2 of these things are destroyed. Unfortunately, 8 are still in effect and following the Astral Horizon. Archer.
Before we go anywhere,
I
wish to use my knowledge of astrophysics to boost my abilities at the helm.
Interesting. Boost how?
Well, given knowledge of the curvature of the planet and magnetics,
Mhm.
how that affects
Oh, okay.
voyaging space, I want to add that 3 to my roll.
I
Is that
see.
allowed?
I see what you mean now. I see what you mean now. Okay. Things that are ultra magnetized within space is not an uncommon phenomenon. And so granted, you've never encountered it on this scale before. Go ahead and roll your astrophysics.
Okay.
All right, we're going to do it like this. Anything over a 15 will be a bonus added to your next roll, either piloting, or if you want, you can take control of the Astral Horizons guns and try to shoot these things down. 19! So, +4 to your next roll. What are you going to do?
Okay. So that's a 5 and a 4. That is calculating for her boost. So that's a boost of 9. Okay.
Ooh. You going to be shooting, or you going to be flying? What you going to do?
Flying. I am dropping down into the atmosphere as quickly as I can. I already have coordinates, as previously stated last session, programmed into the computer as to where this ship crash landed. And I'm just going to straight out run these things. They come into the atmosphere as hot as I do. Good chance they're going to burn.
All right. So, what is going on is this: as you are plugging in the coordinates, as you're getting ready to angle the Astral Horizon to effectively crash through the atmosphere of Aria 7 to land somewhere near the supposed coordinates of the Basilisk, immediately your wife Jane, she reaches out to you and she actually grabs you physically and she goes, "No, don't you do that, look!" And immediately she swipes over a scan of Aria 7, and that's when you guys realize that it has an extremely highly charged ionosphere. This would wreck the ship's systems. Going through this atmosphere would effectively turn the Astral Horizon off, and you have no idea if you'll be able to turn it back on before you slam into the surface of the planet.
All right. Well, then, I guess I will switch all of that energy to guns then.
All right, you're like, oh, okay. You just go ahead, put your hand on one of the hologram screens, twist your hand counterclockwise, and it switches over to fire control. All right. Go ahead and blast away.
Christ, Avery.
Well, you still have inspiration if...
I know it. It's going.
Okay. Okay, you using that inspiration? Yeah, because 11... You would have hit one if it makes you feel better. That's not a miss. Before you continue typing. That would have hit one, but believe it or not, the higher you roll, the more you hit.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking, too. A bit better.
There we go. There we go. And so, go ahead and roll damage. I believe it's a D something for the Astral Horizon. It's typically...
One second, I got it there. That would be with the light rail gun, which is a D10.
Yes, it is. There we go.
Oh,
Ship scale.
Dice box.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. You go ahead and you switch over to the fire control and immediately begin to line up the light railgun as it begins to charge with energy, and immediately it launches the projectile. And you do knock it away. You don't really destroy it, but you do definitely strike it. And so as you strike that one, you're actually able to catch a brief glimpse of this long purple beam that just destroyed two of them. And you're like, okay. You did not realize that was the weaponry that was already aboard Kynthia. But either way, better to have it than not to have it. Sagaricio! Right. It is on to you, as you are in effectively the heart of Kynthia, the engineering section of the bioship. What do you do?
Let's see. I'm gonna quickly pop up on comms to ask the situation in front there to Argus and Raylan. I wanna know what's going on.
Well, they're really chasing after the other ship, and Raylan's breathing fire out of this damn thing.
Well, think you can keep up with it, or should I boost?
A boost would be nice.
All right. Well, I guess we'll boost it. Doing another power boost.
Power boost.
Boost.
16. Definitely. What are you boosting?
Yep.
They're not after us. I would definitely say put it towards the next gunnery shot.
Yeah. Next gunnery or pilot maneuver.
All right.
And
that's a +2, correct? Yes, it
Technically,
is. Yes, it is. Called it. All right. Awesome. And so, last but definitely not least, Argus.
Are there any guns under my control?
Guns? No.
Or weapons?
Weapons? Yes. You have claws and tail. You would have access to bite, but you feel as if Cynthia doesn't feel like having these things, the taste of these things in her mouth right now.
Alright. Well, I guess I'll go in and try to swat some out of the air.
Okay.
Start with the tail swing.
Sounds good.
Does extra attack apply to this?
Yes.
You let me do it.
And is this a melee weapon?
Yes.
Excellent. Oh, right.
The most important question is this.
No,
Are you going...
classified
Okay, what's up, her?
does this classify as gunnery if I'm using melee weapons?
You know what? Sure.
Well, I mean, I don't have to. I still have a +6 modifier on melee, so...
Well,
But then again, like,
use your highest
my highest what?
modifier.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not classifying this as gunnery though, so that bonus will still apply to Draco. 15 with the tail swing.
Awesome. Go ahead and go for the 1d10 for the damage for that. As all of a sudden the space dragon, the void drake, roars and begins to swoop over as it closes in on one of these rotating spheres covered in spiky debris and scrap that is heading directly for the astral horizon. And all of a sudden the dragon spins in mid-space and kapayas and knocks it off its trajectory.
And then nat 20 for the second swing.
Ooh, nat 20! All right.
And still using the tail.
And still
Basically
using...
just like swirling around like an idiot.
Oh my god, are you saying... Oh, okay, and so now, here it is. This huge spaceship-sized space dragon. You have effectively turned into a Beyblade. Go ahead, describe how you piloting Cynthia has taken out 3 more of these things.
I mean, you pretty much summed it up pretty well. Just keep spinning and swinging that tail around like an asshole.
And so with that, more and more of these balls of ship-damaging death are being knocked out of the way, making it so much easier for the crew of the Astral Horizon. Beyblade! We're not sponsored by them.
Let it rip.
All right. And so, and if my math is right, unfortunately, that leaves only 5 more for this first wave. And if my math is wrong, I apologize in advance. All right, let's see how these space spikes deal with the Astral Horizon. But before I do that, let me double check something. Okay, coolness, here we go. We have an 8, a 6, a 13, a 15, and a 17. Seeing as how both the Astral Horizon and Cynthia effectively attacked, there was no piloting checks to counteract this, so I need them now from the helmsman.
Probably a good thing you didn't use that bonus there, Alloy. That +2 applies now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain about that.
Of course! Here comes the crit right when I don't want it. Look at that.
Can
Woo!
I like take out one more as it gets close? I just like swat it away and kill it.
Okay, you... Okay, I'll do you a favor. Let's see here. Seeing as how all of them would have effectively hit the astral horizon, I need you to roll a d10. That number will determine how many you keep from striking the astral horizon.
2.
2! So, Cynthia, the Void Drake, your bioship does not get hit at all. But when you see the other ones getting ready to slam into the hole of the astral horizon, you do your best to spin your tail and swat another 2 out of the way. Unfortunately, that means 3 are going to contact the astral horizon, damaging it.
Who'd have thought I'd be a badass dragon pilot?
For a total of 7 ship damage to the astral horizon as the entire ship is rocked. Aura, you're holding on to your seat as you're being shook from side to side. Somewhere deep down in the bowels of the astral horizon, you're able to hear Nathkar. Yes?
So Lisia's saying it's hard to hear the players tonight.
It is. Oh, okay. And I am so glad that something was said. All right. But while I am attempting to fix that, we're back at the top of the initiative order with Princess Aura. As this scene is going down, you realize that with the power of your Azure Core Stone, you may be able to use some of your Esper abilities beyond the limitations of this ship. You may be able to use them to affect these space spikes. Tell me, what do you do?
I'm looking through a lot of my abilities. A lot of it's mental attacks, but I think approximately like what's within my range, I guess.
So far, 3 of these space spikes are within your range.
Looks like the only thing I can potentially use is something called Frostbolt.
Oh. With that, even though you have both your Simpanel Remus holding on to you, as well as Ori holding your legs, making sure if anything's going to happen to you, it's going to happen to them first, you just hold on to the Core Stone. The Azure Core Stone, the blue one, and you begin to glow blue as all of a sudden your eyes open up and you're effectively, your consciousness is outside the astral horizon, looking at these 3 balls of damaging death that have just bounced off the hole and are currently coming back. And so you said you're going to use which ability?
It's Frostbolt, so make a ranged channeling attack against the target. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 points of cold damage and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn.
Sounds great. Go ahead and roll to attack. And so even though your consciousness is outside of the ship, looking at one of these space spikes that are coming back towards the astral horizon, you reach out with both your consciousness and even physical, and immediately start to see bits of cold and frost begin to form upon it. 9. Sorry, you need at least one more would have done it. But if I recall, you still have some inspiration. Did you want to use it?
No, I'm going to wait for when you're trying to actually kill us, and I am needing to, use it on, like, death saving throws.
Sounds good, sounds good. Don't worry, I will try to kill you soon. All right, Brave Stride.
Oh, guess I gotta do my best taking these guys out.
All right. As you begin to see bits of cold begin to form on one of these space spikes as they're tumbling back towards the astral horizon, even though it's making its evasive maneuvers. Are you going to try to blast the remaining 3?
Hold on.
Oh, Lord, were you reading?
Yeah, I was reading.
Oh, no.
So we're gonna do cover fire.
Por
You fire your
qué?
ship's weapon in an attempt to make a enemy's focus taking an enemy's focus away from another target. Make a ranged weapon attack versus target maneuver defense. If successful, choose up to 2 allies, which I only have 2 piloting.
Mm-hmm.
Attack rolls against those allies from the target of your cover fire are made with a disadvantage to the rolls until the end of the target's next turn.
I like it. All right, we're going to go for it. Even though these bits of space spice are not sentient or even remote controlled, is mostly they're magnetically attached to this, and they're trying to close in on that, you are able to modulate the energy coming out of Cynthia's mouth to form a different type of magnetic reaction against them. And so, go ahead and roll.
Let's see what happens here. Almost rolled in the wrong spot.
Mm-hmm.
$18.
Oh yeah, this is definitely going to affect the remaining 3. And so, long story short, the next time I roll to have these things crash into the astral horizon, it's going to be a disadvantage.
Yep.
Excellent work. And so instead of blasting 1 or 2 or even try to blast all 3, you go ahead and let out this prolonged stream of purple energy to which interferes with them being attracted to the astral horizon. Good stuff. Archer!
Yep.
Um,
I would like to do the whole astrophysics thing again,
uh-huh.
and with the intent on getting my ship the hell out of the way, adding a boost to maneuvering.
Okay. Well, go ahead and roll your astrophysics, and we will see what happens. And, of course, you're going to get a 20. Okay, you have 2 options ahead of you. You can either add a +5 to your next piloting check to pretty much avoid them, even though, thanks to the blast from Cynthia, they're already at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or you can get a clue how to semi-permanently get rid of them. Which one do you want, the +5 or the clue?
Semi-permanently. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the clue.
Okay. And so, due to the intensity of the situation, due to the fact that these things are getting ready to crash into and effectively through your ship, given enough time, you have this moment of clarity. Perhaps it was due to the effects of the Spear of Leadership being held by Aura, or maybe it was just due to piloting instinct. You remember, these things are ultra magnetized. They're attracted to the astral horizon magnetically. If you are able to reverse the polarity of the energy going through your hull, it would repel them. The only problem is, you need someone in engineering to do that.
Jackson should be down there.
He is, as a matter of fact. What do you tell your son?
Jackson, reverse polarity.
He's of what?
Energy to the shielding systems on the ship. We gotta make this thing repulsive to those.
Oh,
Quickly.
Right. Yes, Dad, Father, Captain, Sir. And immediately he begins going to work, trying to remember all the lessons that he's learned from Sagaricio.
Use the belt.
As that is happening, all of a sudden, next up is Sagaricio. Sagaricio, you're there in engineering. You have been providing various types of energy boosts coming from different parts of Cynthia, and that's when all of a sudden your comm is going off. It's Jackson Archer.
Of course. I'll answer it to like, yeah, what's up?
He goes, "Hey, Saga. So, what you doing?"
Trying to keep this ship alive. How's things going on your end?
Oh, you know, fine, fine. You hear that just rumbling noise, right? Oh, don't mind that. So if I wanted to like reverse the polarity of the ship, how would I go about doing that?
Well,
You don't have to do the techno babble, but if you want, you can help them out by rolling a mechanics check, and it'll effectively be an aid another. So
yeah.
if you don't want to go through the techno babble, you ain't got to. But if you want to role play it, feel free.
Well, see, you've got the energy readings right now to ensure that the polarity of the shield right now is to keep things from hitting the ship, you know.
Right. Okay,
It's,
I see the energy readings. Right.
All right. So, you want to reverse that in the other direction.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So they're going all the way to the left, so I want them to go all the way to the right.
That's correct. And probably doing it all in one swoop, probably not a good idea. So, do it gradually. But I'm pretty sure you want this done quickly too, don't you?
Yeah. You know how the old man is.
All right. Well, don't just swipe, but put your hand on the touchscreen there and just drag.
Right. Okay. Just drag.
Don't swipe.
Okay,
Don't swipe it like you're swiping right on Tinder.
Right. Okay.
You want to hold it so you can go through the pictures.
Right. Like, when, I'm feeling kind of lonely. Okay, that's a topic for another time. Okay. And immediately, he begins shifting the polarity. Go ahead and make your mechanics check, and he will make his.
Let's see, 12. Probably not good enough. Find out, I guess.
We will definitely find out. And I keep on forgetting that this is a 5th edition, and so you're just effectively taking the health action. You don't really need to make a roll.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and this will allow him to do it at advantage. Good old 5e, you gotta love it sometimes in its simplicity. Let's see if he does it. 17.
Hooray.
With that, the polarity is slowly reversed, and then all of a sudden, the 3 that were getting ready to crash into the astral horizon shoot off. Unfortunately, they're shooting off in the direction of Cynthia. And that leads us to Argus. Now, you see these 3 space spikes that are hurling directly towards Cynthia.
Evasive maneuvers?
Sounds good. Go ahead and make your piloting check. While you're making that piloting maneuver, Saga Restil, you hear in your ear through your comms, Jackson go, "Yeah! Yeah! Woo! Ah!"
Screw it. I'll use my second inspiration.
Okay, because I'm about to roll to oppose.
Nat 20.
And never mind!
That is my 3rd Nat 20.
Never mind! Okay.
Lol.
Tail swing.
Beyblade, let it rip.
You know what? Fine. You know what? You tell me what you do with these 3 that are coming your way.
I will lean back in the control so I kind of fly upwards, and as they're coming back around, I'll do like a backflip and try to slam them away with my tail.
Nice. But with that, both the Astral Horizon and Cynthia, the Void Drake / Bioship, evade the first wave of these space spikes, and you manage to get within this interesting orbit of Aria 7. The rest of the space spikes you see begin to follow their own orbit, ready for you when you attempt to leave. But in the meantime, now you must figure out a way to get onto the surface of this world without crashing onto it. Captain,
Yeah.
your ship and your crew are currently no longer in danger. Jane is reporting that there's been some minor structural damage. There's a few systems that have gone offline due to the reverse in polarity, but nothing critical.
Okay. And you said this was what kind of ionic change in this atmosphere?
This is highly charged.
Highly charged.
All right. Right now, your wife, she is scanning it thoroughly. And the good news is due to some unknown factors, the ionosphere actually has gaps in it, but they're always shifting. And immediately she gets up from her seat and she goes, Captain, a moment.
Yeah.
And she goes into the hallway outside the bridge. All right, and
Kick the auto and step out.
And Zybar, stop reading my notes.
No, don't stop. Leak it.
Yes, completely disregard the chat that says about the neutron particle beam off of the main deflector dish. All right, we don't want to. He knows too much.
Ah, man. I thought this part of the galaxy was boring. It just got interesting. You.
All right. In the hallway, Jane, your wife, she crosses her arms, and you can tell from her facial expression that she's going to tell you something you don't want to hear. But with that, she finally just looks at you and she goes, John, we shouldn't do this. All right, it's not worth losing the ship.
Well, we're already halfway there.
Oh, listen, I know you think that you're the best pilot in the entire Silrain arc, but all it takes
Second best, sorry.
all it takes is one mistake. If we get caught in this ionosphere, there's no guarantee that we're going to get the thrusters back on. All right? It's going to crash. The ship is going to break. We're going to die. For recovering
I think we're in the shoot the gap, try to hit the holes thing.
Listen, it's a small hole.
Yeah. Hence the reason I said we're not going to do the whole shoot the gap and hit the hole. I'm on board with you on that. That's not a good idea.
All right, then how are you planning on getting down there?
Technology.
Well, it's better than you saying something stupid or crazy like an orbital drop. Anyway, you know, this
That was a secondary thought.
who gave you this job? What was it? Leo? Did Leo give you this job? This is not the first time he said, "Oh, it's easy money," and it turned out to be something that almost gets us killed.
I know. Ash, I got this. Give me ratings for what level of ionic charge there is there. I'm going to take a walk to engineering and have a chat with our son. And I'll head straight to engineering.
Right. As you're heading towards engineering, you can feel the glare. All right, but you also hear the door slide open to the bridge as your wife goes to follow your orders. But before we get to you and Jackson on the bridge, let me see how everyone else is doing. Sagaricio!
Engineering.
I'm sorry. Before we get to you getting to engineering, let me see what's going on with the Kynthia and her crew. Sagaricio, Argus, Brave Stride, what are you three doing?
Still playing with the settings in the ship. I'm really enjoying this thing. It flies really nice.
It does. It almost feels like you're swimming through space. But aside from
I will
that,
get my sniper rifle back.
so you go ahead and he pulls the control stick out, and it returns to its form as a sniper rifle. And with that, Cynthia is flying on her own, and seeing as how she really has nowhere to go, she is just following the astral horizon.
Which right now is just in a synchronous orbit, holding position.
Mm-hmm. Brave Stride, you have Cynthia's Revenge, your cryo blasting sniper rifle back in your arms. But what do the rest of you do?
So why aren't we going in? Like, why are we just sitting here?
And I guess we're talking through comms, or we're all pretty much gathered up now.
It's up to you. I mean, I mean,
Alright.
honestly, given the space in here, you could hear it from effectively engineering, because you're just like kind of under the floor plating, which is actually scale-ish.
Knocking on the floor.
Yeah.
No, well, I'll pipe up at that, and like with the ionic storm out there, it's probably going to mess up the instruments on the astral horizon to a degree that it would actually shut the ship off.
Can the ship handle it? Can Thea handle it?
Oh, absolutely. She doesn't run on the same energy signatures or electricity as a ship does. This is bioelectricity. This is the same stuff that runs your nervous system.
So, could we effectively piggyback the ship through the ion storm?
Can she eat it?
Yeah, she's not that big. All right. Why you call your ship fat, bro? What's up? I thought you loved her. All right. You're the space daddy. You're supposed to be encouraging.
I'm learning, man.
I'm just kind of questioning, like, all right, eat what? The ship, the ion storm, or the planet?
For sake of reference, Cynthia
Too big.
Cynthia is effectively the same size as the Astral Horizon.
She'll get bigger. She'll be better. She'll be meaner.
But I'm sorry, go ahead. Argus went ahead and actually offered up a very interesting suggestion. I'll phrase it like that.
Like, could we piggyback the ship so in case their system shut down, we can at least make sure they don't crash?
Well, we can dock it and all that. Yeah, it shouldn't be an issue.
Oh, she doesn't like that, but guess we gotta do what we have to do.
I mean, for the most part, it's surrounding the planet and sort of like in the atmosphere, but we get it down on the ground. The storm shouldn't interfere too much with the ship systems.
Mm-hmm. The next question
It's
is getting
getting
off
it back up.
planet.
Yeah, because we won't be coming back with one ship. We're coming back with two.
Mm-hmm.
So we could have the Astral Horizon hold orbit here. So we would still have some form of communication, or at least reference points. We can go down, pick up the ship, bring it back up.
So basically use Cynthia like a dropship.
Exactly.
I love how Dark Lovely is just able to take an entire page worth of conversation and condense it to a single sentence that just like everyone's like, yeah, that's exactly what we've been saying for the last 3 minutes. Yes.
Yes.
It's her superpower.
I like that idea. I'm gonna make a call and see how someone else I know would have done it, because I'm pretty sure he's been on a planet similar to this.
Who are you calling?
My dad.
Daddy! I'm gonna go refill my water. I'll be right back.
Okay.
See if we can, draw up another idea, like a backup plan, just in case something goes awry.
All right. And so you go ahead and you whip out your communicator, and a portion of the wall kind of slowly extends out to connect with your communicator in your hand, effectively boosting its signal.
Anthea, I love you.
You feel a warm sensation come over you from the ship. But with that, you go ahead and you send a signal out to your father, and immediately, he answers. Oh, my boy! Did you find the crystal? Did you find the gem? The core stone? Did you find it already?
No, knowing how slow you are, I'm doing some side jobs on my way.
You're not funny, all right? You got your mother's humor. You hear her in the back. What is it, my son? What is it?
So which planet is this again? Something 7?
Urea. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. It is Aria 7. Excuse me.
So, Aria 7 has a storm. How do you get in and out?
Oh, the honey. Honey.
Also, we'll be towing ships.
Why?
Part of the job.
All right. And so, okay. So, let's see. Most of those dead moons, they call them planets, but they're not. But anyway, they got this highly charged, it's superior, and you hear his wife in the background, your mom, ionosphere. That's what I said. All right, completely fries your ship systems. All right, it's embarrassing. But the thing is, they're dead. There's no good hunting on these worlds. Why are you going? You said you're there for a ship.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Okay. Well, all right. The thing is this, on those worlds, it's not a complete covering. There's going to be temporary gaps. Your sensors should be able to pick it up just fine. You may have to attune your sensors so that they'll be a bit more accurate, but the thing is, you got to find a hole, fly through it real quick. And then when you're coming out, same thing. Find a hole, fly through it real quick. All right, you mess up?
Like seconds or minutes?
Seconds. But it can be done, but whoever's going to be at the helm is a crazy son of a kitten.
I got 2 that are crazy.
Wait. Are you trying to say the core stone's on Aria 7?
No.
Okay,
I
fine.
told you this was a side job. I would have told you if I found it. You know, I wouldn't hold that from you. I would be show gloating and talking a lot of mad shit.
You're right. You're definitely right. All right. You need help with anything else?
No, that was it. I was just hoping there was another plan. You know, something that your master exploration skills that you have really didn't help out, though, because we already came to that conclusion.
All right. Well, either way, I got to leave. There's some other guy that claims to be an expert on the core stones. And he's at that other station, not Pelovaro, the other one on the other side of the Silvering Arc. You hear him call out there? Baby! What? Oh, yeah, right. Tavaria. So we're going to go there and see about if this guy has some actually useful information.
I'm surprised you just don't go after the cult.
Thought about it, but as you know, the main part of any hunt is gathering the info.
Yeah.
All right, you got to do your due diligence. You got to get your background. You got to get your facts. You got to get your locations. The best way to obtain it. All right, come on, I taught you this, son.
I know. I do that quite well.
All right.
But I also use something you don't. The sim units.
You do have a point.
Catch up with the times. Anyway, we have a job. I'm gonna let you go.
All right, hey, my son, remember, 1, I'm proud of you. 2, a brave stride always finds a way.
Yeah.
And with that, he cuts the comms.
So about towing and things. Yeah, it's our best bet. And also, he says we have to find a gap. So same thing.
Well,
And we have seconds, not minutes.
That is interesting. As you guys are discussing all this, we're going to go back to the Astro Horizon and her crew. Archer, you went down to engineering to talk to your son, Jackson.
Yep.
And that's when you do realize that his 18th birthday is actually coming up. He's about to be a man, at least by Terran standards.
Yeah. I'll keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Engineering.
All right. You step through the doors and you kind of startle him. How's it going, sir?
Just pick one and stay with it. Okay?
Okay.
I'm not that bad.
Well, I didn't break anything. I knew what I was doing the whole time when I was reversing the polarity.
Yeah, I saw the comm link between you and Sagaristio. Good judgment call. You didn't know you asked. I like that.
Oh, you didn't think that...
I catch more than you'll ever know, boy.
He starts looking up towards the ceiling, looking for the hidden sensors and whatnot that might be spying on him.
Just pat him on the shoulder. You did remember the belt that he gave you that's supposed to help with this stuff?
Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, I have it right over there because it was kind of heavy.
Why don't you put it up?
Right. And he goes over there and starts putting on the belt. He goes, what do you need from engineering now?
In a minute, we should receive some information from your mother from the sensors. There has to be a way to modify our shields to repel some of this ionic mess, if you will, that is this storm.
Right.
All I need to do is basically open up a hole that's already there. Give it more than a few seconds to get through it.
And so with that, almost as if on cue, all right, your wife, Jane Archer, contacts the both of you on comms. Her holographic image appears between you two. She goes, all right, so I scan the ever-loving... We can release an energy surge that will create a temporary gap in the ionosphere. The issue is that also makes us more susceptible to ionic interference.
What's the interference going to play with?
Everything. Life support, engines, weapon control, artificial gravity, you name it. Everything's going to go haywire.
But only if ionic energies hit us.
Yeah, so it's a gamble. And I'm going on record saying I don't like it.
Noted.
Also,
transfer your data down here. Let me run some numbers.
Fine. As she goes there, she cuts the hologram, and between the two of you, you see, of course, all of the statistical information as well as the actual visual representation of the ionosphere around Aria 7. And you see that there are effectively 3 holes that are constantly and quickly swirling around this planet. The holes themselves also contract and dilate at random intervals, seemingly.
Random intervals. Run it through the computer, see if I can pick up any pattern.
Sounds good. It is processing. And long story short, in game terms, someone is going to have to be able to make a DC 20 piloting check in order to go through unaffected. If they make it 20 or higher, the ship will be unaffected. 15 or higher, some systems, not all, will go offline. And between 10 and 14, all systems go offline.
And with this shielding that I'm working on, the energy burst to open the hole, what kind of changes does it make to the rolls?
All right. What it does is making the burst makes the hole, and then it just slightly shifts the DCs back a bit. And so then you just have to make a DC 18, then a DC 13, and a DC 8.
18, 13, and 8.
I'm sorry, 9, but yeah, because my math is horrible. Yeah.
So drop by 5 with each.
And if I recall, haven't you used your inspiration?
Yep.
Brave Stride, have you used yours?
No.
Okay. All right. And Argus used the both of yours, correct?
Correct.
All right. And so I believe that leaves just Aura and Sagaristio and Brave Stride, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So finally, Jackson, he goes, Dad, did you talk with Sagaristio about this? Because maybe they got some ideas too.
I was about to patch him in. And I'll tap the appropriate keys on the comm.
Mm-hmm. All right. And with that,
We're sending the data that I've got.
there we go. And so, both aboard the bridge in engineering and aboard Kynthia, the Void Drake battleship, you guys are all patched into the call. And so it's time for you guys to all come up with a plan. How and who is going to go down to Aria 7? Who's going to repair the basilisk? And how are you guys going to get off of this world? But
What's your thoughts, Shaggy?
actually, you guys are going to have a chance to contemplate that a little bit privately because it is time for our break. All right, everyone, we will be back in about 5 or so minutes. See you then. And we are back, and our players are currently in an interesting situation. Currently, the Astral Horizon and the Bioship, aka Cynthia, are currently orbiting Aria 7. This planet is currently covered in a highly charged ionosphere that fries the systems of regular ships passing through it. And currently, both crews have been brainstorming a way to get through it down to the surface of the planet, where they're going to be repairing the Basilisk ship and somehow getting it back to their client. Players, take it away with your suggestions and what you're going to do.
You're the techno geek. Come on, Soggy. What you got?
Well, there's a couple options that we have available. We can bring Cynthia down there. With being a bioship, she runs off of, well, it's a nervous system, a lot like yours and mine. So it's bioelectricity. It shouldn't be affected by the ionic sphere. However, I don't have enough information available to see if that would be the case.
Right.
And being a new ship as well, I'm not sure if she'll be able to handle the additional load of the Basilisk, because, again, we don't know the extent of damage on that.
Yep.
So it's an additional load, it's a lot of unknown variables. However, the Astral Horizon being a cargo ship, I know it has thruster capability to take on additional heavy freights and loads. So it should have enough power to lift up the Basilisk off of the planet. The problem is that storm.
Yep.
Well, there's a couple of ideas that we came up with. One would be punching a hole through through the storm to create an additional opening. We don't have enough instruments.
And the best we can get is a few seconds time interval increase doing that.
Yeah, and even if we were to pinpoint it and make one of the holes even bigger, that's only going to do so much, and we'd be utilizing resources that we wouldn't be able to get back. So what we can do is we can become that disrupting field. Takes a little bit more energy and a little bit more regulation of the systems, but with the right amount of power, we can disrupt that storm, punch another hole through without affecting the ship, get down to the Basilisk, see what we can do, hook it up, bring it back out. The extra power needed would actually require a core stone. And the power regulation would require someone who has intimate knowledge on these sorts of levels.
You're volunteering, aren't you?
I'm volunteering for this against better judgment.
You immediately hear Jackson go, "Whew." Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna require at least some additional support. So, having Jackson and Nathkar maintaining other systems would be beneficial, as I'm going to be focused more on. I'm going to be more focused on the disrupting energy field.
Yep, I'll have Nathkar run algorithms to keep the energy on the ship bouncing where it's supposed to, and Jackson, you got life support.
Oh, all right, Dad. Wait, but
You see any reason that we're going to need such thing as rail guns on this trip down?
I'm hoping not.
Oh, my thought is if I can shut it down, protect it from being hit and damaged by the ion storm, then Let's shut it down before we even go in.
Yeah, I would advise on doing that. At least then in the off case we actually do need them.
They could potentially be fired back up, providing we still have the energy.
Yeah. If we're lucky, we might be able to jury-rig something to the Basilisk if anything is operable. Maybe give us a little bit of an energy boost if we can get some of the engines to piggyback off of.
Yeah, if we can get 2 of her engines up and going, that'll give me a 50% boost to what this ship will do. She's a similar ship, if I understood correctly.
All we would need is some lifting boosters for sure, so... But, again, I don't know the extent of damage. I'd have to look and see what we can do.
Yeah, neither do I. And that involves getting down there.
Yep.
As you guys are having this conversation, Argus, Brave Stride, Sagaricio, the 3 of you can sense that Cynthia is sniffing the highly charged ionosphere, and you feel her worry and concern. Strangely enough, this is causing her insides to leak.
Ew.
It is just a slightly sticky brown type of substance.
She pooed.
No, I mean some of it's kind of landing on you guys. One of it kind of hits you in the face a little bit, and you're not trying to. It kind of gets on your lip as you wipe it off, and that's when you guys realize it tastes a little bit like chocolate.
What the fuck?
Sorry for the random interjection.
Why does this ship leak chocolate?
No.
For the record, I didn't say it was chocolate. It said it tastes like it.
Cynthia, please.
With that, Jane, she goes ahead. She brings the Astral Horizon right alongside Cynthia. Finally, you guys are hearing a comm from Nathkar, your Matokai lizard man. So
good. Get up here.
I don't know why you wrangled me into this. This is suicide.
Time for you to pull your weight.
I've been analyzing the ionosphere pattern, and it's barely a pattern.
But there is a pattern. Come on, spill it.
There are 2 times it would be ideal to try to fly through one of the holes.
All right.
But there he goes ahead. Mm-hmm. He sends it, and all of you are now able to see it. That once again, these 3 holes that are just sometimes they bounce off of one another as they are just circling around the entire planet. But he begins to actually fast forward time a little bit, and you realize that there are 2 points. One an hour away, effectively. It's actually 59 minutes and point whatever seconds. Where the 3 don't bounce off each other, they converge.
Okay.
And then there is another long-term convergence, according to his math, 2 years from now.
Yeah, we ain't got that long to wait. The hour from now has got to be it. Well, I can compute a trajectory with this.
See, once
Sorry,
again,
Lucio, you want to meet me in the
Nathkar saved the
here?
day. I do not get paid enough for this.
You want a paycheck at all, we got to do some work.
Mm.
And I don't know why you're complaining, Nathkar. You got all the energy now that you could work on your stuff with.
I do. And with that, he immediately cuts comms, and you hear the kind of heavy-set lizard man running through the halls.
It's amazing what a little incentive will do.
Pulls his weight.
But yeah. With that, it's the same effect as if you guys discharged energy where it just reduces the DC of piloting in there with the Astral Horizon by a bit. So that's effectively what the convergence will do.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In conjunction with the convergence, coupled with Sagaristio's idea
Of becoming the disrupting field.
Yep. And using my piloting skill along with pre-programming the computer off my astrophysics ability.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what kind of bonuses we can generate.
Okay.
Take us in.
So, doing all this will translate rules-wise into this. With your astrophysics, with the calculations of Nathkar, with the assistance of your wife, Jane. All right, you will be able to make a piloting check with advantage.
All right.
On the chance that you still manage to not hit the mark, and the ship is actually struck by the ionosphere, instead of all the systems shutting down immediately, what's going to happen is this is going to allow Sagaristio to roll a saving throw for the Astral Horizon.
Okay.
He makes a saving throw. The Astral Horizon will be just fine. In theory. Does anyone else have any other ideas? And also, if this is the case for the Astral Horizon, what is Cynthia and the rest of the crew aboard that is going to do? Also, I'm sorry, if I recall correctly, Sagaristio, you wish to use the power from the Crimson Core Stone, correct?
I could use the Crimson, but I'm more in tuned with the Amber.
Well, true. So it's going to go like this. If it's just you aboard the Astral Horizon, utilizing your connection with the Amber Core Stone to protect and be the disrupting field so that nothing happens to it, it will be effectively for you a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
All right. If you utilize help from the Crimson Core Stone, the Crimson Core Stone will allow you to make this check with advantage.
So is that one or the other, or is that both in conjunction?
It's one or the other.
Okay.
But with that, now, Brave Stride, you do sense that Cynthia is wondering if she's going to be going through this ionosphere at all.
I don't think so at this time, but...
Yeah, but only Brave Stride is able to effectively communicate with her at the moment.
We're on standby, girl. Don't worry about it.
And the drips of chocolate cease for the moment. But, so, is that the plan? To wait for the convergence? When the three holes become one... Oh, dear God, I can't believe I said that out loud. Anyway, are you going to wait for the convergence?
I don't see any other way.
Okay, there's other ways. You guys actually have come up with some very excellent suggestions. Also, Zybar's suggestion of utilizing a neutron particle beam off your guys' reflector dish. It effectively has the same effect of punching a very small, well, not very small, a temporary hole in the ionosphere for you guys to try to use.
Right. And I had considered that, but as you described, this thing's swirling, and as Nathkar put it, not in a very pattern-inducing way. It's going to close in on itself.
Yeah, it'll punch a hole, and eventually it will close. It will also change all the calculations for the other holes that are naturally swirling around this planet.
which may screw with any further attempts.
Oh, also remind me, are your two ships just flying side by side, or have you docked with one another?
I told Jane to dock.
Just want to make sure.
Just so that we can do the personnel transfer if we're going to do this.
Okay. So, I'll leave it to you guys. You guys have your options. I guess it's on to you, Sagaricio. Do you go over to the Astral Horizon and get ready?
Yep, I'll head on over and I'll get ready for all of this.
Awesome.
While he gets ready, I'm ordering Jane to take herself and any other non-essential personnel over to the other ship. Like that.
And with that, immediately, you tell that to Jane, and Jane, she goes ahead, she gets on the comms for specifically the Astral Horizon.
Oh, we fall off.
All right. Free. Nathkar. Take my daughter over to the bioship.
No, Nathkar's got a job to do.
He's already done his job, and I am not just your first mate, I'm also your co-pilot, so I'm not going anywhere.
Yes, you are. I got this.
We got this.
The kids need you.
She gives you that look like, you're going to have to roll to persuade your wife.
Oh, God. Okay.
This ought to be good. The good news is, not only are you her husband, but also her captain, so that negates you having to roll a disadvantage. If you were just one. Okay, what is your total? Let me go ahead and get over here so I can see it too. A 17! Okay. And so, with a 17, she's pissed, but she gets up, she gives you a kiss, and she whispers in your ear, if you crash, I am going to come back and beat all of the hell off of you. Do you hear me?
Yeah. In the words of one of my most favorite characters from way back before we ever existed, I'll be back.
Yes. You and those old Earth Hollows is just ridiculous.
But they're so fun.
And that she's leaving, she's still complaining about it. And and those robots look so cheap. I mean, stuff.
Good. Her mind's on something other than the impending disaster.
All right. So, is Jackson, your son, staying to help Sagaricio out?
Yep. Sagi said he could use some help.
All right. So, with that, Jane, your daughter, little Jill, even though it wasn't, it was actually, what's-her-face, Umber was already over onto the bioship, but also Balo, and strangely enough, Tana is refusing to come out of her room.
I'll head to Tana's room.
And so, Jane, she sees that you're here. She gives you that look like good luck, and she goes with the rest over to the bioship.
Tap on the door. Open up, Tana.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
Override.
With that, you go ahead, you do a command override, the door slides open, and all of a sudden, I need you to make a reflex saving throw. The DC is 15.
You gotta dodge the glitter.
Stop reading my notes!
Flashbang. Glitter. Pocket sand.
Reflex saving throw. Do I have anything to help me in that?
That would probably be dexterity?
Yeah, which is a 3.
Mm-hmm. And since you're a specialist, you're probably proficient in reflex saving throws, so you get to add your proficiency bonus.
So that'd make that a 6. Yep. There it is. I just hadn't scrolled down far enough to see everything. Yep. So that's a 6. Not a problem.
Oh, right. And so as the door slides open, you see she had a device affixed to it so that whoever pries it open immediately is going to shoot out a flash of light and glitter. You immediately just spin over to the side of the door frame as glitter just shoots up against the opposing wall.
You do realize you will be cleaning that up later on, little one.
What do you want?
You're going to go over to the other ship, and you're not going to argue with me.
I don't want to be anywhere near where that big old
Don't
great doofus is.
You don't have to be.
Is
You'll
Argus
be there with the princess, with the fuzzball. You'll have plenty of company. Go now.
Fine. With that, she goes ahead, she grabs one thing, then another, then a bag, and she puts some stuff in there.
Now.
Several grenades. She goes, well,
Drop the grenades.
You don't want to drop these. I just made these. They might go off.
Just put them down and go. You'll be back here for them.
Fine. She puts that one down, but she grabs another and she starts to leave.
As she goes to leave past me, I'll grab it out of her hand.
Do you have sleight of hand?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay.
Add a +6.
Most definitely.
Whoops, I hit one too many sixes there.
Well,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know what? It's
All
fine.
right, well-
It's fine. All right. Look, with a total of 77. All right. She has no idea that you have completely taken all of the explosives off of her. All right. And it happened just as a brush pass, right? Somehow you were able to move beyond sight within the time span of half a blink to take the 17 explosives she had on her person off of her as she walks out of her room and over towards the bioship.
She's completely unaware, so she thinks she still has them.
Yeah, she thinks she is still armed to the teeth. All right, as you just step out of her room with her arms behind your back, and the camera swings around to notice that you have a small pile of grenades and explosives in your arms. As she's heading towards the docking bridge between the ships, Argus, as you are coming across to the astral horizon to provide some additional power for Sagaricio's attempts at keeping the ship safe through the ionosphere, you do see Tana, and she sees you.
I love how he's talking about all of this while Argus is not even here. You even commented that he had to restart his computer.
I thought he was back by now. I can only see.
No, he is not.
I only have so many screens in front of me. Okay.
It's a solemn walk by.
It is. Thank you. Thank you, Draco.
Solemn, quiet. Didn't even happen.
She goes ahead and just goes, and walks on by him as he continues on. But with that, Brave Stride, you see Tana begin to enter Kynthia, and she is touching everything, and she is like, ew, why does it look wet in here?
She had quite the scare. A little bit of uncomfortability with the storm in front of us.
Right. She goes, oh, so when she gets scared, she goes ahead and rubs her finger against the side of the wall, and she's like looking at the type of mucus between her finger and this tastes like that that earth stuff.
Why do you guys put random stuff in your mouth?
I am a scientist. It is my duty.
And then why don't you research what it is then?
Do you not... Okay, listen, Valna, let me educate you, because you're from a
No.
barbaric race. So,
Barbaric now. I will show you barbaric.
well, you have. You told me stories
You
about the
do
things
more
that you've heard. What?
Yes, but you make.
She points over towards your very tribal set of armor.
Yeah, and this wasn't from
And the
a
bow.
mass extinction weapon.
Yes, listen, civilizations and societies create weapons of mass destruction. All right,
Yeah, that's
savages
more barbaric.
create. How? Okay, how is a surface-to-space weapon barbaric?
In the wrong hands, those can affect children, innocents. At least my targets are exact targets that I picked.
So let me get this straight. If there wasn't some huge space monster getting ready to eat your planet, you wouldn't want a surface-to-space weapon.
See, that's a good reason, but there's also a lot of bad reasons to have those.
Well,
But
guess what? You could kill a child as easily with a knife as you could a surface-to-space weapon.
yeah, but that is a very planned and purposeful, and whoever does it deserves to die.
Look, only one of your Volna co-workers fell into the thing, all right? And that had nothing to do with me.
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Oh, you didn't know. So this is a beautiful
Yeah.
ship. This is so this is Cynthia, right? I mean, does it speak?
Yeah, she speaks with me.
Oh. So now you have another voice in your head like Argus.
No, not like that
Like
at
that
all. It's more
Thing.
more with permission, and it's two-sided, not just forced on me. Or she doesn't live in my head either.
Wait, so we're inside Cynthia right now. Can she feel me walk inside of her?
Why don't you ask her that yourself and research and keep yourself busy?
You're letting me research your bioship? Oh,
If
I'm going to be able to plumb
you-
all of its secrets. I might be able to learn how to make my own. Oh my heavens! Wait a minute. Wait. I don't remember seeing any type of guns
A
or
war
cannons on the
criminal.
outside of this. I am
If
not a
published-
war criminal.
If you publish any of this, I will treat that as an act of terrorism.
Against your people, or you personally? Because one, I'm willing to risk.
Against all of us.
Okay, listen. Argus has already told me to stop publishing papers. Okay. I'm not going to publish any papers. Okay?
But I think we do need to know a little more about her. So. And Sagaricio is the only other one that knows more about this ship than I do. I just talk with her. I keep it friendly. I treat her like one of my kin. Though you bomb your own people with glitter.
Like, as you're saying this, you realize she wasn't paying any attention, and she has one of her scanners out, and she's just been scanning Cynthia this whole time. She goes, I'm sorry, what you said? What happened to my grenades?
Why do you need grenades?
Why do you not need grenades?
Maybe Argus was right putting you in a box. You want to go back in a box?
No, listen. All right, I'm tired of him putting me in a box. All right, no one's going to be putting me in a box. And she reaches for. I don't have grenades. Okay, no one's ever going to put me in a box again.
Okay, I won't put you in a box, but please understand, if you're going to research Cynthia, all that information stays with us.
Of course, I've learned my lesson. All right. I'm not going to publish anything. I'm not going to have any more Corestone hunters coming after us, or
Wait, what?
Excuse me? Oh, wait. So you said you're not going to put me in a box. Are there boxes on Cynthia?
I can ask for one real quick.
Will it be a box or an orifice?
You know what? If you cause me any problems, I'm going to do what Argus does.
What, yell and get all ugly and say mean things? And
I don't like yelling. I just like to act. Why would I give away my position like that?
I don't know. But either way, fine. Listen, I'm not going to publish any papers. I'm not going to reveal any secrets. I've said this multiple times, all right? If you need me, I'm going to be over there trying to find a way to put a twinkle blaster on Cynthia. Excuse me.
Wait, what the hell's a Twinkle Blaster?
You're just going to love it. Shut up.
No, I'm not.
All right, she goes stomping off down the corridor.
Kenthia, if she does anything to you, you let me know.
Cynthia begins leaking chocolate.
Yeah, I would be scared too. She's kind of unhinged.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone else who's here, welcome aboard, Kenthia. Please treat her with respect. I will be in my room, maybe, or I'll be sitting here at this chair. I'm undecided. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna sit here.
Right. You go ahead and you sit, and you see these lumps kind of come up out of the ground for other people to sit upon.
We'll get
Go ahead.
I'll get used to this. I'll get used to this.
All right. Okay. Sagaricio, you're back within the very familiar engineering room of the Astral Horizon. You, Jackson, he has his belt on. And then finally, something nudges you, Sagaricio, and you look back and you see your space turtle. He has his harness on.
I don't know if it's a good idea for you to be with me, bud. We're about to do something ill-advised.
All right. And he's just looking at you, and through his eyes, he communicates, where you go, I go. And you haven't fed me today.
No, you're right, I haven't. So I'll go find something for him to eat. And I'll bring it with me over to engineering where he can eat and I can work on my stuff, and probably going to need a couple extra hands for this, so I'm going to spend at least 4 minutes doing 4 quick constructs.
Oh, you're making constructs. What do they look like, and what do they do?
Well, in this case, they're all going to be for the purposes of helping out around the engineering bay. So,
Dagnabbit, given your ability to make constructs.
I know, right? It's amazing. So yes, they're all going to be sort of like engineering work bots, but they'll all have like different color helmets. We got red, blue, yellow, and pink.
So you said red, blue, yellow, and pink.
Yes. And
almost had the core stones, all right.
Almost the core stones, yes.
The other one's green.
That's fine.
All right, coolness. And so, what do they look like? Those little crap. And now I want to play Mega Man. You know those little they're the protective caps with the eyes, and every now and again they just like they pop up. You only have like one chance to shoot them. Sorry, I was just thinking about that. Oh my god, I love those things. What are they called? They have a name.
I know they have a name. I'm gonna have to look it up because I know which ones you're talking about.
Yes, I swear one of these days I'm going to fulfill my dream and actually have a Mega Man style role-playing game. But anyway, moving along, you go ahead and you begin to craft your constructs. Your little drones that are going to be able to help you out when it comes to modifying the Astral Horizon, as my cat is effectively trying to destroy my stream deck. All right.
You should be streaming me.
I know, right? She was all knocked down. All right. Hello. Okay, get out of here. All right. So, as you're doing that, Jackson, of course, is doing his best to help you out, and actually, he is strangely proficient. He's a +2, and helping. Almost as good as your space turtle. After you go ahead, you go to the galley, a very familiar place, and it still has that familiar scent that it's the remnant of smell of gumbo, of various breakfast foods, and you can't help but to remember the multiple times that you have eaten in here. But either way, you go ahead and you grab some food for your space turtle, to which you have still yet to name, strangely enough. All right. as you're doing that, as the time is passing, as the time of the convergence is drawing near, Captain, Princess Aura.
Yep.
All right. Is Aura going to go across to Cynthia or stay aboard the Astral Horizon?
Would prefer you go over.
All right, yeah, I'll get my entourage and I'll head over.
Mm-hmm. And so, as you go ahead and go over to the Astral Horizon, and welcome back, Alloy! As he is still getting his systems up and running. When you step into Cynthia, once again, you, more than anyone else, are able to really feel her presence. It's not a connection that is shared, like the one that is shared between Brave Stride and Cynthia, but you feel more of the power of her spirit now that you are within the vessel that is Cynthia. With that, your bondservant slash friend slash BFF, Ori, is like, you can tell from the way she's looking around that she feels it too. Seeing as how the Kesh some are naturally telepathic.
Alright, it decided I want to receive my voice too, so everything's just worked well for me at the moment.
Yay! Glad you're back. You've made it over to the Astral Horizon to help supply the power when Sakaricio needs it. While, aside from the vital crew, the rest have gone over to Cynthia. As a matter of fact, just like aboard the Astral Horizon, Aura, you feel as if you're able to actually use your abilities, your psionic abilities, through Cynthia as well. You may even be able to be a better bridge in communicating her intentions to the rest of the crew. In the meantime, do you do anything?
No, I'm just kind of waiting for instructions and trying to stay out of the way while, being available.
Mm. All right, with that, your sentinel, Remus, he looks over at the mounds that have risen out of the surface of the floor to provide spaces for you guys to sit on. And they look wet, even though they're not. And he just looks at it, kind of grumbles to himself. Your Grace, if you wish to sit or rest, I will be your chair or your bed. You do not have to lay upon these things. And with that, Ori, she kind of looks over. What did you say? I said that in the need of... And you can see his eyes widen as he thinks about what he said. Your Grace, I did not mean that in any appropriate way. I am simply your Simpanel. I wish to be of service. I have served...
Remus, go sit on that chair.
With that, he goes over and he touches it a few times. And he sits on it. Back straight. He looks so uncomfortable sitting on it. With that, Ori's kind of giggling, but she's stifling it. I believe that they are safe to sit on. He gets up real quick and he checks his bum. He just... They may look moist, but they are not. They simply look moist.
Remus, sit back down.
He sits back down.
And I just sit on his lap.
Right. And so, with that, he goes, I will hold my arms up so that they will be armrests for you, Your Grace.
Relax your arms, Remus.
Right. And so with that, he goes ahead and he becomes the chair for you. With that, you see Ori turning colors as she wants to laugh so hard. Right? And then she's like pointing over at Remus. And Remus is there as still as a statue, being the perfect chair for you. At the same time, you can't help but to just look at his face. And you have learned that despite what other people say, Kesh do blush. But
I'm going to look up at Remus and ask, was it everything that you dreamed?
A single tear comes from his eyes. More than I'm able to imagine, Your Grace. And immediately, Ori just bursts out laughing. She actually is rolling on the floor, right? And she's, the cover! Oh.
Off to the side, there's a flash. Because I forgot to turn off flash.
Oh. All right. With that, all of a sudden, there's the, splash, 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 as it seems as if Jill has found all of the small crevices where a little bit of that brown fluid has collected, and she is just jumping in the puddles and having herself a good time. The other small Kesh that assists her, is effectively her companion, Balo, also known as Free, he is doing his best to get her to stop, and she is just getting completely covered in this brown stuff, and she is just like, hop, 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 and he's just, stop, 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 you're getting it everywhere. And she goes, oh, it's chocolate. And Free's like, no, you don't. And Jill just takes a dive into the deepest recess that has the fluid built up into it.
That's my girl.
This turned Willy Wonka very fast.
It really did, and I am blaming one of our viewers for it. You know who you are. So
You know what you did.
exactly. And they thought I wasn't going to put it in somehow. All right. But as that is happening, as Jane, first mate of the Astral Horizon, wife to Captain Jonathan Archer, grabs up her daughter and Balo to get them somehow cleaned up somewhere aboard the bioship, the time of the convergence nears. Captain Archer, what do you do?
Yeah.
You realize it is T-minus 10 minutes before the convergence happens, and you guys have to make some moves.
Disengaging the ship.
Mm-hmm. You disconnect the Astral Horizon from the bioship.
And you said I'm on the Astral Horizon, right?
This is true.
Yep.
Okay.
Running through all unnecessary systems, shutting down anything not needed. So all the way to including lighting in any of the unused areas.
Right.
Closing off venting for life support in those areas. Sealing everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Programmed every last bit of information I can into the computer for the journey down.
Mm-hmm.
To help with,
Most definitely. And with that, the lights turn off in the galley. The individual rooms. The airlocks close. Life support has been dedicated to only the bridge and engineering. Inside engineering, we have...
And the hallway that runs between,
Of
just
course.
in case we have to make the quick trip.
Definitely. Inside engineering, we have Sagaristio. We have Argus. We have Jackson Archer. And we have Space Turtle. While aboard the bridge...
Four constructs.
Oh, and your 4 constructs. Construct Red, Construct Blue, Construct Yellow, and Construct Pink. All of them are
Yes.
effectively floating hard hats with like little Lego arms that are holding tools. But upon their acknowledgement, they all just kind of like bow their head and just go, "Yeah." Aboard the bridge, which is extremely quiet now, is Captain Jonathan T. Archer. And remind me, you wanted Nathkar to still run calculations, correct?
Yep.
And so he's there on the bridge with you, arms crossed, upset because he wanted to be safe on board Kynthia.
Just on that console, you know exactly what you need to do.
Aye, Captain. But I should get paid more if we crash and burn.
If we crash and burn, pay's gonna be the last thing you'll ever have to worry about.
I am sending you a document to sign in the event of your death.
If I'm dead, I'll sign it.
Sounds good. Wait. Wait. You're not using any of that Terran craftiness on me.
Let's just do this.
And so, with that, he goes ahead and he begins calculating the exact timing of the convergence. He begins actually sending you the trajectory, the exact trajectory that the Astral Horizon has to fly in at the right angle in order to go through the convergence without the sides of the ship clipping anything. Inside of engineering, everyone is seated and strapped in. Sagaristio, you have revealed the amber core stone as it is floating right there in front of your chest, and immediately you're able to see golden lines of circuitry going from it to your mind, to your hands, to the console in front of you. Streams of it, almost like streams of information, are going towards your constructs. Construct red, construct blue, construct yellow, and construct pink as they begin getting into position for the possible surges in the power system due to clipping the highly charged ionosphere.
Excellent. Well, while they do that, I'm actually going to turn over to Jackson and I'm going to open up one of the large lockers in the engineering where I stored my old armor. My old heavy trooper armor. Because I'm wearing the new stuff, so. It's like, all right, Jackson, well, I don't really have much need of it, and you might. So, I'm giving you my old armor.
And with that, you saw like he was like super nervous a moment ago, but now he goes, "Oh, I can't take this. You already gave me this belt," and he moves the space turtle out the way, and now you're giving me.
Kicking the comm on between engineering and the bridge.
It goes, "I can't believe. Thank you."
We're moving up on time for this to happen, people. A few last words before we go. Hopefully there'll be more words after. But for now, let's enjoy the show. Jackson, we don't make it. Happy birthday early.
Oh, you remembered.
Of course.
Thanks, Dad. He goes ahead, looks at the armor. Thanks, Sagaristio. He starts getting dressed and whatnot.
You'll wear it good. It'll fit. Don't you worry. And the armor itself will actually conform to his body shape.
He bits it on and immediately hits the controls on the side, and it begins to actually, suck in because Sagaristio, you're a big buff boy for some reason who looks incredibly similar to Jason Momoa. We don't know how that happened. Yes, but with that, immediately it just shrinks to fit Jackson's smaller frame. While this is happening, Argus, the space turtle is closing in on your core stone that is hovering by your torso.
I'm going to shoo it away. It's my stone.
You go ahead, shoot it away, and it's trying to get around you because it's kind of curious now. It's trying to get closer to your core stone.
Get away. Sagi, do something about your pet.
Well, I'll head on over to my turtle and I'll grab him by his flippers and I'll put him in like a backpack like he was the last time when I went around with him.
Okay.
Why did you bring the turtle?
You put him in his turtle, Bjorn. Yeah, right. You put him. Go ahead and do that, and like Sagaristio says, he wouldn't go. But with that, you guys have T minus 1 minute and counting. The real question is this: as the clock shows up on everyone's comms, for the crew of Kynthia, the bioship, what are you guys gonna do?
Be at the ready.
Are you gonna go in with them, or stay in orbit around Aria 7?
They said that pretty much let's be on standby.
Okay. And so, as the clock counts down, over comms, you hear Nathkar. Captain, since you are at the helm, I need you to follow this trajectory precisely and initiate thrusters in T-minus. Kor, Shitok, Sok, Tarik, Tos. Oh, right. Terran. 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and give me that roll as you engage the thrusters of the astral horizon following the trajectory 14. You look as you see the convergence of the 3 holes in this highly charged ionosphere. They converge, they make a larger hole, and you're doing it just right. But all of a sudden you realize that the ambient energy coming off of the ionosphere is already affecting controls. Not enough to shut anything down or anything, but you realize that it has just barely altered your trajectory. It barely altered the signal coming from the control stick from the bridge to the flight controls within the thrusters and wings of the astral horizon, and the ship clips the highly charged ionosphere. Immediately, energy surges through the entire ships. Lights flash on and off, and then eventually things are going dark. Sagaristio!
Oh.
As you begin focusing through the energy of the Amber Core Stone, doing your best to protect and be a similar disruptive field like the ionosphere of Aria 7, I need you to make that Constitution saving throw. Argus, as you realize he's going to need power in order to do this, as he is currently live altering the systems of the Astral Horizon as they are currently trying to be fried. You are going to be offering the assistance of the Power Stone. Actually, go ahead and use your best modifier plus your proficiency to make that roll.
$19 for the power.
Nice.
And
19
for the con saving throw.
Most definitely. As power rips through this astral horizon, as all of a sudden, from the crew of the bioship of Kynthia, you're able to look through the various portholes, and you are able to see the lights temporarily flicker out of the ship, and you see that it begins to actually fall. As the convergence is over, the 3 spheres, three holes in the ionosphere begin to scatter. All of a sudden, you're able to see through the ionosphere, the lights turn back on, the thrusters kick back on, and the astral horizon has made it through the highly charged ionosphere into the airspace of Aria 7. Captain, the controls kick back on, the lights kick back on, the screens pop back up, and you're able to see... Say that again.
Straighten up our course.
Definitely. You go ahead and you pull back on the control stick and you level her out. Do you feel that she's feeling a little bit sluggish? But she is actually doing okay as you're able to pull her out of both a spin and a nosedive. And you manage to touch down. Only a few clicks away from the projected crash site of the basilisk. But as you have landed on this relatively dead planet, you do realize that the planet is not dead as it was reported. Looking through the various viewports of the astral horizon, you are seeing a tremendous amount of greenery. Trees, plants, life, small flying creatures, and you're somehow able to look up and you realize that the grayness of the surface of this world appears to come from this type of cloud cover.
Nathcar, get those sensors up. I'm working on them on my end.
Aye, Captain. All of your information about this world is false. I am losing
I
confidence.
see that.
Mm.
You ain't the only one, buddy. I see that.
And so he is definitely getting to work, and right now he's telling you the other possible locations where the basilisk could be crashed.
All right.
Captain,
Yeah.
we have another situation.
What you got?
He goes ahead, he swipes a holographic screen over towards you, and you guys do not have any official comms with the bioship.
Already expected that.
No signals from this ship is going to get through that ionosphere. While that is so, Sagaristio, Argus, you guys are reading the same thing on your end. The ship's communications cannot reach the communications on Kynthia, but you two are still in contact via the core stones, which I don't know why I gave those to you guys, with each other. So Sagaristio, Argus, you are still in communication with Aura and Brave Stride aboard Kynthia. And strangely enough, Kynthia, since Kynthia is connected to Brave Stride, as well as a very annoyed Umbra. Brave Stride's, it's effectively the Displacer Beast, but Phase Beast, who is highly annoyed because there's no place for her to go to bed that doesn't seem gross, disgusting, or wet. But either way, as you guys are in communication, as Nathcar is currently calculating the most likely possible spot for the crash basilisk. First, let me ask, Captain Archer, what are you doing?
Leveling our flight.
Mm-hmm.
Setting up a standard search grid.
Mm-hmm.
Staying below the cloud cover, but above the trees.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me your perception check.
All right.
Do so with advantage, as Nathcar is helping you out with sensors and whatnot. Mm-hmm. Through
14.
14. With a 14, you actually are able to spot parts of the basilisk. What I mean by parts is the ship is intact. You are able to see where the vegetation is lower than the rest of its surroundings from where it crashed, drug itself upon the ground, and now you see that it is currently teetering upon a very deep precipice. Unfortunately, if you were to position the astral horizon above it, it may dislodge and go down into the precipice, crash, and blow up. You don't want that.
Right. Nope, not doing that. Tractor beam.
Right. And with that, Nathcar goes, "Are you sure?"
Yep. We've made it this far. We're going to keep going.
Right. As he begins to engage the tractor beam, bearers of the core stones, what are you guys thinking and communicating about?
Sheer silence.
What's the situation like?
Well, right now, I mean, you guys go ahead, talk about the current situation.
We're not dead.
No, we made it planetside. Did hit a bit of the wall there, but we're fine. We recovered.
Seeing as how what's his face, Brave Stride has another type of connection. I need you to make a perception check, Brave Stride. While you guys are conversing amongst yourselves, realizing that it's kind of cool having this connection amongst the core stones.
It's neat.
My 15 isn't picking it up for my passive.
Your 15 has spotted something. Well, you rolled a 15?
No, my passive is a 15.
Your pass is a 15? Oh, well. Yeah, sure. We'll let it go for this time. As you guys are in mental communication via the Core Stones, both you and Cynthia notice something. Since your passive is 15, one higher than what was kind of needed for Archer, you saw, but they didn't see, through the highly charged ionosphere, a disturbance amongst the gray clouds. Several disturbances. Something under the ionosphere is approaching the astral horizon.
Y'all might want to check your 6.
Oh, what are you seeing?
It's just a disturbance. Can't get too clear of an image from what we're noticing up here, but it's approaching. Seems like it's following.
Let me pass that on. Hey, Captain. From the sounds of it, Raylan and Cynthia up above say there's a disturbance right above our heads. That it's following.
Switching scanners to the indicated directions.
All right. And with that, you go ahead, you switch the scanners to double back, and you almost don't see it. There are 3 trails within the very thick and gray clouds of Aria 7. And unfortunately, you have a whole lot of knowledge, and I think you actually have a trait from you being from your background. You know that those are smaller ships. Those are starfighters.
Shit. We got company. Bringing the weapon systems back online.
Most definitely. And as you now realize that you have company, you realize that retrieving the basilisk has once again gotten that much more dangerous.
Argy, I need you on guns.
On it.
And everyone aboard the Astral Horizon anyway, I need a roll for initiative. Immediately they discovered that they have been discovered, and these 3 starfighters, all of them you realize have been cobbled together, descend from the clouds.
Oh, Jesus.
God, Avery hates me tonight.
Did you get another crit?
Yes.
That is my 4th 20 of the night.
What did,
yes, 420.
what did you do to Avray?
I must have sucked some good dick or something. Jesus.
Well,
Right?
she loves you, she hates me.
Uh-huh.
You gotta suck harder, Ty.
There it is.
Fiddle of the dice.
And so, who are we missing? No one, I believe, actually. Okay. So, Argus, tell me, what do you do first? If I heard you correctly, you said you're going to get into one of the gunner seats.
Yeah.
All right. You immediately do. You hop into a very familiar seat, and as you are getting the cannon to target the aft, you are able to see the 3 incoming starfighters. I'm assuming you're going to take a shot at them.
Are we gonna try to hail them first, Captain, or are we just blasting away here?
Praying on them, don't fire yet. Let's see what they want.
I will ready my action then.
Okay. Next up, Sagaristio.
All right. Well, since they're doing that, I will give the ship a minor power boost.
That's all you do. Like, if I'm an engineer, you go to get a boost.
You might as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, I could have gotten Jackson to do the same thing.
That's
too,
all
if
right.
you
Well,
wanted.
he's helping, so go ahead, roll with advantage.
All right. Well, that definitely gets a power boost. So
Mhm.
let's see. Since we got gunners and all that, we're not gonna need speed. So on D. And I misread my maneuver, by the way.
Okay.
So power boost isn't just the 1d4 for like pilot or gunner. It's 1d4 plus my wisdom modifier, which is +2.
Nice. Okay.
So, they'll get a +3.
And so with that, it's on to the incoming starfighters. One scans your ship, while the other two, they actually begin trying to blast the gunneries, the gunnery placements.
Okay, they're not friendly.
No, they're not.
All right. As this is happening, for sake of interest, Captain, you see what they're targeting. You see the incoming stream of blaster bolts going towards the gunnery positions. You can try to dodge this, even though it's not your turn yet. But the DC is 16 and 12 for the shots. Go ahead and make your pilot check.
Okay.
It'll also be at a +3 since it's...
Yep, which means I get to throw a total of 9 on it.
Ooh, nice. Don't worry, just go ahead and make one.
Oh.
Oh!
Finally.
So with a 19, with a total of 28. Not
I
only...
just get circles around them.
Yes, exactly. As they're zooming in, trying to disable your weapons, you dodge every single blaster bolt fired their way. And immediately, you do a barrel roll. I'm sorry, you do a loop-de-loop, and you end up behind them.
Yep.
And it is effectively your turn now. While this is happening... yes?
I'd like to use my readied action.
Yes, you may! Go. Well, as long as it's not another crit. All right, stop rolling 20s.
Don't
No,
tell me
roll
what
more.
to do.
All right, Avery, don't do it.
Okay, so
Don't
I'm
listen
gonna
to
start. I'm gonna start shooting the fighters from behind now.
Yes, go ahead.
Blasting.
Yes, blast them all in the
and-
behind.
I'm going to roll 2 attacks. If I take out the first one, I'll aim for another one. But aside from that, aiming at the same targets.
Okay. You have the seeming leader as they're flying in the flying V formation.
Okay, so one is a 19, and then the other's a 9.
Okay, so then a 19 definitely hits.
And what's the damage on the gun?
I believe it's a D10.
Yep.
Ship scale. But go ahead, roll it.
8 points damage.
Nice. And with this 8, immediately, I'm going to leave you using the light railgun, correct?
Yep.
Sure.
Sounds good. All right, with that, it charges up and you launch. This, I mean, there's just this woo, stoof, and immediately
It's
smoke begins trailing from one of the starfighters. It is heavily damaged. Yes.
I'm gonna action surge.
Ah, turds. All right, go ahead.
So that's another 2 d20s. Oof.
Oh, Avrays, go ahead. She's gotten back to her old self.
I had my good run today. If I die, I die a happy man.
That is a good to know. And so with that, you go ahead and charge up another shot. Wait, what? Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, I'm about to say, I was like, wait, but you can't do that again?
I don't have that.
You could hear him freaking out internally, being like, "What the fuck?"
But with that, the second shot, unfortunately, goes just a little bit too high as the ship descends a little bit in altitude after the first shot hit. But now that you've taken your turn, Archer, it is on to you.
auto cannons.
Are you talking to the one that is smoking or one of the two that have yet to take any damage?
The one that didn't take damage.
Well, there's two that haven't taken damage. Well, took it damage. Oh, but 25 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll.
And I believe it's 1d8 on that one. 8. Now, quick question. My deft strike. This is a ranged weapon, after all.
Yeah, but they kind of know where you are, and so to my knowledge, you have no advantages to it. If you had some advantage to it, I would say you get to go ahead and
Once
use
per
it.
turn, add 4d6 extra damage to an attack that hits. Must use a finesse or ranged weapon. You do not need advantage if another enemy is within 5 feet.
But is
And
there
that
another?
enemy is incapacitated, and you don't have disadvantage.
Yes, but that is the alternative. You either have advantage to gain it, or if they are within 5 feet of another enemy, you can get it.
Yes. Oh, go ahead.
You know what?
It doesn't apply in this situation.
It kind of doesn't, but you know what? We're going to let it, though, this time. Why not?
Okay, so I got the d8 and then 4d6.
You know, especially because the thing is this, you have to remember the Astral Horizon doesn't look like an agile ship. All right. And so here you are, you're pretty much taking this junker, and you had did some maneuvers that they had not anticipated before. Yeah, they're a little bit surprised.
4. We're a total of 9 points on him.
9, and you said it was one of the ones that hadn't taken any damage, correct?
Yep.
Sounds good. All right. And so, with that, the leader, Starfighter A, it's smoking and currently kind of wobbling. You go ahead and blast and just riddle up Starfighter B. It is in similar shape, even worse than Starfighter A. So far, Starfighter C hasn't taken any damage, but that is their turn. And we're going to get it back up to the top of the initiative order.
Back to me.
What do you do, Argus?
I'm gonna keep firing at A.
Ah,
Or at least to start off with. If I finish it, like I said, I will switch to a different target. Probably the other damaged one.
okay.
Boost the numbers.
Sounds good. With that, you get your targeting reticle.
There it goes. Avray no longer favors me tonight.
Woo! I am sorry. No, you're right. The favor is over. And with that, as they begin doing their evasive maneuvers, trying not to get shot down and trying to get into a better position to start to blast you down, you go ahead and let out a complete stream of railgun fire. Unfortunately, it misses. Sagaristio!
Yo!
What do you do?
Let's see.
You're able to tell from sensors that after you do whatever you're going to do, these fighters are going to try to get into a better position to take down the Astral Horizon.
Well, I think we're gonna continue with the power boost, just to kind of give us that competitive advantage against them. So, yay boost.
Go ahead and do the boost. While you're doing
and
this,
Is Jackson helping me out with this one as well?
he is. You have what? 4 effectively mechanical drones helping you. You have Jackson helping you. You got a space turtle. All right, you're doing it with advantage. All right, I don't see how you can fail with this. I mean, what you gonna do? Oh, I purposefully dropped the tool. Right.
Yeah, 21.
All right, I sneezed pee on the console.
And the boost is still +3.
Oh,
And the next,
right.
Piloting maneuver or gunner.
Sounds good. Aura, Brave Stride. You two feel what's going on through your connection to Sagaristio and Argus. Do you guys do anything from outside of the ionosphere of Aria 7?
I mean, are any of my abilities in range?
If you did not have the Azure Core Stone, of course not. But since you do, you could go through the Amber Core Stone or the Crimson Core Stone in the possession of Sagaristio and Brave Stride, respectively, to be within range. Wait, you're not going to mess with the minds of the pilots of the Starfighter? You ain't got to mess with the mines at the pot.
I blast.
Oh. Do you have to roll to attack, or do they have to roll a saving throw?
I have to make a ranged channeling attack. On a hit, the target takes 1d10 psychic damage. If I only roll it, if I basically just do rank 1, but I could do up to rank 5, which would be 2d10 psychic damage.
Ooh. Are you going to up the damage?
Well, I'm going to try. I'm going to try to hit it.
You gotta tell me now. Which we gotta do? Little damage or big damage?
I'm going to go for big damage.
Yeah! Argus. While you're sitting trying to shoot them down as they're maneuvering and strafing, you feel the presence of both the Azure Core Stone and Aura. You feel that she wants to see through your eyes. She wants to see these things. Do you allow it?
Yeah, sure. What's the worst that could happen?
Another voice in your head? Yeah, it's nothing new.
Exactly.
First of all, if it's a lady, maybe she'll keep Telvin busy. Oh, by the way, be careful about that. If you're in there, you're screwed.
All right. Princess Aura, you see another Ashen Forge within the mindscape of Argus. Even though he is bald, since this model doesn't have any hair, he goes ahead and he fixes his hair. He just pretty much slide his hand over his bald head. He goes, well, since you're here, I'm Telvin, also known as Final Wish. I'm a glaive. But I could be your weapon. You can wield me however you... And then immediately, the Crimson Core Stone pretty much blows him out the way. And he goes, I sense your desire to destroy. We will destroy it together. Aura.
My hell.
The presence of the Azure Core Stone next to you, Aura, is concerned. But with that, the presence of the Azure Core Stone just places her hands on your shoulders, helping you focus your mind as you're able to see through the eyes of Argus, through the glass, through the canopy of the gun replacement, all the way into the cockpit of one of the starfighters, and you realize that it's actually a Terran pilot, a human pilot. And he is like, gotta shoot him down. I need the parts. We gotta get out of here. Go ahead and make your Psyblast roll.
So I rolled 23 to attack.
I just the what?
Yes, my
Oh, I see it. Roll the damage. Oh, the damage. And with that, the Crimson Core Stone's like, yes, I will help. All right. And so with that, there's a surge of red energy. There's a surge of blue energy as all of a sudden the pilot of, I'm sorry, did you pick the lead pilot in Starfighter A? Did you pick the other damaged one, Starfighter B, or the undamaged one, Starfighter C?
I'll go for the undamaged one.
Got you. And so with that, as the Terran pilot is like, go shoot them down. You're going to get this wreck and everything. We're going to be rich. We're going to be rich. All of a sudden, he stops. And all of a sudden, there's this sound of like a water balloon going pop inside of a helmet.
It's a hell of a brain freeze.
All of a sudden, Captain Archer, Sacaricio, on your sensors, you're able to see one of the starfighters just spiral out of control and crash into the surface of the world.
Yeah. Neat.
Okay. It is the rest of... Well, I'm sorry. Brave Stride? You sensed all of this. Are you going to attempt to do something?
I mean, the only thing I could do, it could help, but also at the same rate, kind of puts Cynthia on a uncomfortably unease.
Say it. Speak it out.
Do you guys need help?
I think we got this. One crashed and burned and we didn't even touch him.
What could have happened?
As I slowly look back, yeah, I'm gonna stay here.
While you have made that decision, in the back of Cynthia, you hear Jill go, "Aw, where did the chocolate go?"
Good. Yep, definitely staying here.
All right. With that, the two remaining starfighters, they peel off and they are leaving. Are you guys
Cool.
gonna let them escape or pursue?
Nah, they ain't going nowhere.
Sounds good. But in the incredible flying, you actually managed to find a clearing not too far away from the crashed Basilisk ship. The Basilisk itself, if it wasn't for just a chance spotting, you probably would have missed it. There's so much jungle growth over it. And while a lot of the trees and leaves are green, you do notice a lot of splotches of red. Unsure of what that type of vegetation is or what it does. Are you going to land the astral horizon, or are you going to attempt to use tractor beams in order to pull it out of where it is currently lodged, knowing that there is a chance that it could still fall?
I'll give you the systems a power boost if you need.
Yeah, definitely would be wanting to do that. I do want to pull that back if we even go on it to work on it. I'm afraid she might tip.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah, I want it off the edge.
So you're going to be using the tractor beams with the assistance of the Crimson Corestone.
Yep.
And if it's a piloting maneuver that he's doing, he still technically has the +3 bonus.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been used yet.
Well, with that.
So what's the overall?
Okay. The DC is pretty high. The DC is 16.
Okay, but
So what do I need to do to help?
that's the part I'm wondering is what am I doing with his?
All
what kind
right.
of bonus does he get?
I'm about to tell you, but first I need to know this. Sagaristio, are you going to be assisting with this as well?
Oh, yeah, I can assist.
All right. So with the help of the Crimson Corestone, with the help of the Amber Corestone, the power of Argus, the inventive craftiness of Sagaristio, as you have Nathkar crunching the numbers, as you have Jackson currently picking his nose because the other constructs are doing all the work,
Checks out.
as the space turtle witnessing what you're doing, Sagaristio, he retracts his head into his shell and he closes his eyes tight and he begins concentrating too. Captain, you're going to be making an intelligence check with the +3 Sagaristio bonus that you provided.
Mm-hmm.
With the +3 bonus and with the multiple assistances of the Crimson Corestone, the Amber Corestone, Nathkar, and various other drones, you'll be rolling at advantage. The DC remains to be 16. You make a 16 or higher, you pull the Basilisk free, and you two are on your way off of Aria 7. 15 or lower.
16.
It's exactly a 16!
Thanks,
yeah.
Samurai.
Gotta be dramatically close.
As you see this the vine snap as the basilisk begins to be pulled almost violently free from the jungle floor, as it finally levitates up and joins the undercarriage of the astral horizon. You all have retrieved the basilisk. Now, the question is, how do you get it out of here?
I could try blasting a hole in the ionosphere.
Thinking pretty much the same way we got down.
And so with this, it will take a concentrated effort. Aura, Brave Stride, from aboard Kynthia, do you offer your assistances?
Sure.
Yeah, I guess.
I was just waiting for someone to be like, "Screw you guys."
Yeah, I want to crash and burn. All right.
I mean, a joint attack, 2 beams hitting them simultaneously on both sides would work out.
Oh. Ah, crap. That completely messes up my plans now. All right. So, with that, Aura, Brave Stride, the DC is 10. As this is based on the connection and wills of all of you, I need you guys to make either an intelligence or wisdom rolls with your proficiency bonus. Like I said, the DC is 10. As all of a sudden, energy begins to be collected within the mouth of your bioship as it is going to blast a hole from its end. All of a sudden, the astral horizon begins to glow red as the crimson core stone begins to light up as it's like, yes, we're going to destroy the ionosphere! Which actually wouldn't be, it would be a bad actually for the rest of the planet, but still.
The rest of the planet's not my concern.
The DC for you is also 10, Argus.
And the stat, intelligence or wisdom?
Yes, intelligence or wisdom, whatever is higher.
Average, like playing it close.
Sagaricio, DC is 10 for you.
22.
She's back to loving him.
And we got a 14.
All right. 11, 10, 14, as you guys are doing your part, as the beams are coming from both the astral horizon and the bioship, creating a big hole in the ionosphere. All it takes is for the captain to thread the needle. They made it easy for you. Nathgar is typing furiously. I don't think we're going to make it. This is a bad idea. And I am currently wetting my scales. I don't like this. I don't like this. Captain Jonathan T. Archer. Make your piloting check. They have paved the way.
Boom. Punch out.
You made the DC by nothing. The DC was exactly 15. As you rolled a 15 before I even have a chance to say 15, as the astral horizon still attached to the basilisk is managed to go right through the closing hole of the ionosphere as you guys have successfully retrieved the basilisk as well as the pay that is to come from your client, the Anero.
He got really worked up by that.
I kind of did. I wasn't.
Yeah.
But
You take
with
your occupants back now.
as
Bring her
the
up alongside and dock.
most definitely as the astral horizon docks with Kynthia, as the crew begins to go back over, Archer, both your wife and your little girl Jill, they hug you tightly.
I told you I had this.
And of course, your wife begins beating you in the chest, talking about how stupid you were for risking everybody's life, including your own, for this stupid mission.
Got the job done.
I'll be right back.
But with the job done, we're going to call tonight's session a close. That concludes another exciting session of Esper Genesis. We hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you engage that like button, comment, and subscribe, especially since it's going to help you join us on our next adventure and live stream. I got to give a huge thanks to my players, Alloy, Master Draco, Dark, Lovely Tonto Tomahawk, and Typhoon44. Also, don't forget to follow me on my various socials on Facebook at Cobalt GM's ttrpg Zone. I need to shorten that. On Instagram at cobalt.gm, on TikTok at cobaltgm5. And until next time, have a great night, and let's level up together. Bye.
Get out of here, you varmint.
No, you.